everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika. How are you doing?
Hi. I am good. Olympics has started, so this is my Super Bowl.
Okay, so what summer sports do you enjoy? All of them?
I pretty much, when the Olympics is on, I try to watch most of them. But I'm a track and field girl. I used to run a youth track and field program in town that I live in, that my kids used to run with. And I just love track and field since I was young. But I also love it. I love gymnastics. I love swimming. So I'll more times than not watch most of the sports in the Summer Olympics. Whereas like Winter Olympics, it's really just like skating, speed skating.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So my sister, who has a similar name to yours, Tamika,
Mhm.
she's a pretty good swimmer. She's 16 right now, but she hurt her shoulder. But somebody that she's been swimming with her entire life actually made the U.S. Olympic team, and so they're like showing us pictures of like, this is when we were swimming together. And if my sister hadn't hurt her shoulder, she probably would have been able to make it. Because she was like eating some like Michael Phelps swim times when they were like 8 years old. Like, you know, when they do comparisons like that. And so she's always been a really, really strong swimmer, but then she hurt her shoulder. So she's training for 4 years from now to see if she can get.
Well, it's only two.
2 years. Yeah, sorry, every 2 years.
3 years from now. Wait. Yes, 3 years from now.
Okay, that's not too bad.
2024, so it's not too bad. Yeah, Paris.
20.
Yeah, so that'd be good. Oh, I can't wait.
I know. Wouldn't that be excited to like go to the Olympics to root her on? That'd be so cool. Cool.
Awesome.
Now, this is your first time on Reality Realness. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We are going to be talking about Love Island USA, the mess that the producers left us, and the most boring episode of the season. So please subscribe so you can join us as we talk about this. Be notified, get by hitting that notification bell, and leave some comments and some likes. Come on, some likes, people. Just some likes. It's really good for the algorithm. It helps the channel out. You know, super chats also help the channel out. So however you can, please do what you can, because it's all for a good cause, I think. So we have some friends joining us. We have Allie. Good afternoon, Allie. Hi, CJ. Hi, Netha. Okay. Well, I did not kick through my TV like I said I would. I'm not happy they picked Jeremy over Giovanni. Not right at all. And let's just get right to it. I call bullshit.
Yes. No.
Complete, utter bullshit.
No. Yeah. That was not. I don't know. Somebody tried to put out a whole thing that it would be illegal if the producers had anything to do with this, and I'm just like, somebody had something to do with this, and I can't. I even went through it in my head. So, because everybody is trying to somehow blame Cash for this, and I'm a bit confused at why. Just because Cash had to announce his name, and did you see that it was hard for Cash to announce his name? Why is it Cash's fault that Jeremy is still there? She couldn't even say his name. She closed her eyes and spit it out. But I said, I don't think that Trina. I don't think that Cash voted for him. Over Giovanni. I don't think Trina voted for him over Giovanni, or even over Wes. Let's say Trina voted for Wes. I could see Shannon voting for Jeremy because I believe Josh is his BFF, right? Kira may have voted for him. I don't see how, but maybe she voted for him. So let's say it was a split, you know, Kira, Shannon, Trina, and Cash. How do they break that tie? The producers would have to step in.
I think that the producers probably, we heard a rumor, and it's going around like wildfire. So I've been spreading it. Sorry if it's not true. The rumor has it that Jeremy's father is an exec at CBS.
Right.
Now, this makes a lot of sense to me because they're going to see the numbers of the people voting, right? So they voted the night before. They're going to know when they do the next episode who's going to be the lowest. I think originally, like usual pattern, they were going to just dump the bottom couple, like you were suggesting, and then do what they ended up doing for the other three couples or whatever that are left. They choose one guy, one girl, and then the other people go home. That's what I thought things were going to go down. But no, they're like, oh wait, like my son is not going to be getting his camera time and his air time. Like he's staying here to the end. I want him having a chance at the money. Like he's not going anywhere. Change it. So I think that they were strong-armed into keeping. So first he became part of the bottom couples, right? And then they got to save a couple. And then they got to save another couple?
No, save an individual. One individual out of boys and out of girls.
And that's it. And so then, yeah, two couples, four people were going to go home. Correct. And so I think that they were told that they had to save Jeremy.
I agree. I think either either it's that reason, or I don't think they wanted one less white guy left on the show. And
yes, something I was saying to you as well.
Yeah,
like it could be both, right?
It could be both.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the women from Casa Amor, when they're doing their pre-interviews and stuff like that, been like, oh my God, Jeremy's so hot. Like, I want to see Jeremy, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm wondering if that's also a reason why, because we know like last season, people were coming in to see Trey, and then Trey was dumped right before Casa Amor. And they're like, oh, so they didn't get to, maybe they wanted more drama of like people getting into relationships. Like, if Florinda's not staying, then Jeremy doesn't need to stay. He got his girl. Like that's like pretty much his purpose. He's not going to win the show at all.
Well, I said, so this is my theory. I can definitely see nothing happening with Jeremy or Olivia in Casa Amor, and then they couple up to try to get to the end, just like Calvin and Maura, and they just make it to the end. Whether it's like top 3 or whatever, I don't know, but I could definitely see that happening. I don't know how much they're going to try to keep these two on the show, but it pissed me off to no end. Like I was screaming, crying yesterday because I do not feel like Giovanni deserved this. Like I can understand if that's their thought process, that they needed the extra white guy on the show, but then they should have found a way to save Giovanni, because
you dumped two couples then.
They shouldn't have dumped two couples, because Lord help us, the rest of the episode was probably the most boring episode that we have watched in this entire season, because Giovanni is gone and Cash is carrying what she can for the rest of the show. And people are mad at Cash. I don't know why, because what are the other couples bringing? You're mad at Cash for doing what she needs to do to find a connection, but you're not mad at Josh and Shannon and Will and Kira and Cinco and Trina for being boring. How are you blaming Cash on
relationships? They're coupled up. It's like, no, they just don't have anybody else that they like more, and they're just going to stick with this partnership. Like,
right, and that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to find the best couple you should be in with the best chemistry, not the couple that is boring and it's going to sit there through the next 4 weeks. That's BS.
Yeah. Hi, Jessica. Jessica, thank you so much for getting me back on track today. I appreciate you. Okay, so Jeremy, yeah, he has 9 lives. Like, how can we get rid of him? I don't think we can. I think if he has a studio's exec as a father, I think that he's in it for the long haul. And I think that they're probably surprised that people
he was in the bottom. Yeah, I know that if he got saved, I know they were shocked that he was in the bottom, because based on the app, based on even that unofficial vote, Florida and Jeremy were the bottom couple no matter how you slice it. And they should have right off the bat been kicked off. Even on the UK show, when they do that many couples and in the bottom, they always kick off the lowest vote, and then they allow the Islanders to give an Islander a lifeline. That is how it should have been done. But I am telling you, that is because Jeremy and Florida were the bottom couple, and that is how he got saved.
Mm-hmm. Because like out of all the guys, he was who I wanted to be there the least.
The least.
I would if they had saved Wes, I could be like, okay, like I mean, I wish that
I would have cried, but I wouldn't have scream cried. Like I would have been like, okay, I understand. They feel like Wes deserved a chance because he just got there. I get it.
Sam, this is what the question's on everybody that watches the show's mind. Jeremy has had chances with 3 women, and if he claims he likes Florida, why didn't he leave with her? Because he doesn't like her, and his father wants him to stay on the show for longer. Now, this might be a little bit of a hot take.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anybody by having this hot take, but it could make some sense. So I've been curious about, whether or not he's really explored his sexuality before. Like he just kind of has that, like, doesn't really seem to like women. Like I don't know if he's gay or not. I don't care about his sexuality, but it doesn't seem like he's great at being with a woman. So I'm wondering if his father is concerned maybe that he might not like women, and so he put his son on this hyper hetero show to maybe, you know what I mean, like get him to be more attracted to women or like start dating women, like to, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if the father might be a little bit scared, not that it's a problem or anything like that, but I've seen people do stuff like this because like they want to like, put their sons in like a hyper hetero world so that like if they were questioning things, like maybe then they would choose to be straight or whatever. So I was curious about that because I already considered him to be kind of on the fence, and he doesn't seem like the type of guy that goes around bangs shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that vibe at all. And so I'm wondering if his father was pushing him on this show and pushing him to stay there to try to like make him straight,
Mm-hmm.
Or make him choose.
It's all too possible at this point. Theories abound. We did hear during deliberations, Cash was like, he had a chance with you, he had a chance with you, he had a chance with you. He's picky. And the only person I think she could have been saying that about is Jeremy. And so, which is why I feel like she didn't vote for him. But again, just this ultra pickiness that is just, I mean, he's had beautiful women. They have to be with him, and then every 2 seconds he's going after somebody else. And I just don't necessarily care about his journey at this point. And so I can like I said, I can definitely see whoever he brings back from Casa Amor, he basically, him and that person fizzle out, and he couple up with another Islander just to stay on the show.
Mm-hmm. Why are we voting then, Sam? So mad. Why are we voting? Because we're not getting at all what we want. I know that we've already kind of detected that they change the verbiage, whether it's like risk or like going to be dumped. And so this is they're meddling again, but in a way that it's to save somebody that we don't like, but the producers like, which is very irritating. Jeremy has a bigger personality than is portrayed according to Isaiah on Alive.
Okay, so Isaiah. Listen, I don't believe a word that Isaiah says most of the time. He changes with the wind. Like he literally, didn't he say that him and Cash were Cash and Cinco So during his interview with After the Island, he said that Cash and Cinco were not a match in his head based on what Cinco had said to him, that he would not go back to Cash, right? And that he didn't think any of this would happen. Meanwhile, he commented on a blog's page and said, "Oh, how he saw this coming, and that and get it, Cash Money." So, which one is it? Did you see this all going down? Because what we saw go down is that now, and to be fair, I'm not sure if the whole voting had a lot to do with it, but now it seems like Cinco is contemplating whether he should go back to Cash. It possibly could be because he landed in the bottom with Trina, and maybe his plan to just ride it out with one girl didn't work, and he's bored, and he's like, well, if I'm going to ride it out with a girl, at least can I have some fun with Cash? I don't know. But Isaiah went on After the Island and said the complete opposite, that it would never happen. So I don't take anything Isaiah says for 100% too. I don't take
And
anything.
he also said that, like, he didn't want to be with Cash because she was like coming on too sexually strong for him.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, they didn't show any of that, but that's not really her style.
Right. I just, at this point, I feel like always take what the Islanders who've been kicked off say with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Most of them are salty.
They're doing image control, like damage control for their images. Like they're trying to create their narrative now. Mm-hmm.
Right. You'll more than likely see more of what because even we see it with The Bachelor. You'll more than likely see a lot more of what a person's true relationship with somebody is when the show is totally done and it's like months later.
Exactly. And like when everybody's out and they can defend themselves, it's like they can say all these things while like they're still in the villa, and they can be like, it's kind of like when Mercedes came out. She had one story, and then when everybody came out of the island, her story completely changed on what happened at Casa Amor. So
right.
It definitely is going to be their version of events. And then when people are like, actually, that's not what was happening, they're like, oh, whoops, like they'll change it.
And then like Yemen, who sat there and said nasty things about Justine with Trey on a live while Justine was in the villa, and then she comes out after winning, and he camps himself in her comments and talking about how beautiful she is and get it girl and fire, and she ignores him. And then after the whole Caleb thing happens and she continues to ignore him, he unfriends her and then starts bigging up Caleb. You can't trust these people. Like, they're just, I don't know, D-listers.
Okay, so do we think that the producers are editing Jeremy in a certain way than what we are seeing? Makes no sense. The producers saved him is all I'm thinking, because I don't see how they like him better. I don't get it. It has to be that it's nepotism. Like, it has to be that somebody is working in his favor here, because the audience doesn't like him enough to save him. They want to see other people's relationships grow.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's like I could understand if it was Corey. If it was Corey and it was between Corey and Giovanni, maybe they thought Corey might have more of a chance than Giovanni to find somebody.
They would let Corey be dumped in a second. I don't think.
No. I'm talking about the Islanders. I'm not talking about the producers.
I don't think that. I think they
would allow him. But I think from what some of them are saying is that like Corey really is there to find love. Corey is a lot less looking for something. So I'm just wondering maybe if it was him. With Jeremy, I feel like he's had 4 shots at this. So it doesn't make sense. Like to sit there and say the island, like based on what Cash said, the Islander that we think could go ahead and find somebody, it after having 4 chances, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't breed Jeremy.
And he found somebody that he wanted to be with.
Right.
And then she's not staying, and so they're like, oh, let's keep him, and he doesn't leave with her. That's shitty. Okay, so also Olivia's best friends with Josh and is cool with everyone. That's why she was saved.
No, I mean, yeah, Olivia made sense. Like, I know everybody wanted them to save Amy, but Olivia being saved makes sense. I still think it could possibly be also producer that, lean towards Olivia because, again, don't want the ratio of white girls to other ethnic. I mean, basically, they dumped 4 islanders of ethnicity last night and kept the 2 white people. So I can definitely see that. But I also think that Olivia has brought something to the show. She, they even said it. Oh, we saved Olivia because of Operation Heart Attack. So I'm like in my head, the producers saved Olivia because of Operation Heart Attack because she brought something to the show.
She's bringing more than Amy was right now, for
right.
sure.
Right.
So, hi, Charnice. The producer stepped in to save Jeremy because there's no way they saved him on their own. Exactly. There's no way.
No.
There's no way. It's like he likes Florida. Let him go with the Florida. Let's have Giovanni have a chance here.
Yeah. No.
I mean, editing him in a way that is false to how he actually is with the Islanders. Maybe.
It's possible, but based on what Christian said that he is low-key, but he's a nice guy. I think Isaiah kind of said the same thing. We'd have to hear what Amy has to say.
Well, Amy, what she's been saying, it seems as though she has Mr. West in her bed.
Right.
So she's saying, hello, sexy Wes. So yeah. I don't know what happened, if it's just like getting out of the island and like then realizing how good looking he actually is. Like, I don't know what happened, but there's like a scene of him like putting on his shirt and she's still laying in bed. So it looks like they're exploring something. So
right. I'm glad she didn't just dump him after she got out the island. But to the comment about Johnny and Sally, that is my only thought, is the heavens cut Giovanni out of the villa to send to Sally, because otherwise it don't make no sense.
They're very similar, but elementally they work. He's a Leo and she's a Gemini. So that's a very good match. Yeah. And I think that they can handle each other. Yeah. And so I would
match energy to energy. I think they have the same goofiness, but also the same ability to be down to earth. I just think he would match her. So I told her that because she commented on Giovanni's IG that why do bad things happen to good people, and I said, listen, sis, I think the heavens are sending him to you. So like, thank God.
Could we be so lucky?
Yeah.
Could we be so lucky?
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers that is what happened. I would be so happy. Like I usually, like, I don't want any of these Islanders to date other Islanders, but considering Giovanni didn't have any other relationships in the villa, it was just him and Olivia did not like him. I think it's actually very on board if him and Sally got together after this.
That'd be the only thing that would make me okay with this happening right now. But, like, I'd also rather him win. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I would have rathered him stay and win with Cash and being a friendship couple. But I'm trying not to be very angry about it, because I could not understand it last night. I really could not.
Okay, so if Jeremy's daddy wanted him to have a chance at the money, then why didn't he just give it to him and send him off the way?
I don't think it's about the money. He's already stated he's from New York. He lives Upper East Side. They're rich.
Well, he's a model and a fitness trainer.
He's a model and a fitness trainer. You don't need the money. It's not about the money. It's about, the notoriety and the clout, and that will take him farther than the money. Yeah, because he already has the money.
Hi, Shads. Okay, y'all go look at Amy's Instagram story. Yes, it seems like she's okay that she left. Yes, we did see that. I love it. Maybe he likes white women. He had Black, Mexican, Latino. maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, Isaiah isn't consistent.
Yeah, I don't see what he said. I'm
What's
not following him.
Amy Flores?
Yeah, maybe Amy _ Flores.
Giovanni never got a chance. I didn't understand the girls voting for Jeremy, to be honest. We think that the producer stepped in here.
Yeah, Amy Flores _
True. Isaiah also said on live with Connor.
Connor?
Connor?
He was live with Connor?
But like Connor is another like bland man from Love Island USA too, that he hopes Cash and Cinco end up together because he wasn't that into Trina.
What? I don't understand him. First, he says he doesn't think that they would get back together. He did say the one thing he did say, and I will give that to him. He couldn't speak on their relationship as to whether they were a match because he didn't see their relationship prior to him arriving. So maybe he went back and watched the earlier episodes where Cash and Cinco were together, and maybe that's what's made him come to this decision, plus seeing the newer episodes and knowing, because I'm telling you, based on what I've seen and what a lot of people have seen, Cash is not crazy. Cinco watches her while they're in the villa. He does things to keep close to her. He has not let her go. He's still emotionally tied to her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she should have kept him in the friend zone completely and like not necessarily do this Operation Heart Attack, because I don't think he's going to leave Trina.
No.
And I just want her to have her heart open, because if her heart was open, she may have put in a little bit of energy with Wes, and Wes may have been interested in her. Because if you are interested in people usually that are interested in you back, like you usually can get the vibe. And so if he wasn't getting the vibe at all from Cash, and and Amy was like maybe giving him a little bit of a vibe, and like she's also stunning, and he's sexually attracted to her, whatever, like she might have had a shot with Wes at least. You know what I mean? If she just was like giving him
I think Wes just wanted Amy and he got her. I don't know. I think he just wanted her. I don't know if Cash even stood a chance. But this is my whole thing. I actually am pleased with the conversation that Cash had with Cinco. I know a lot of people were mad at the conversation. They're like, oh, she threw herself in him. But I actually think towards the tail end of the conversation, because she did say, I need a man, a real man who wants to be with me above all else, because I deserve a relationship that is special. And I'm glad that she understands that, because she does. And I don't think she'll ever get that with Cinco. I think it will be a good relationship, a strong relationship, but I don't think it'll be special. And I do agree with her. I think she deserves special. So I'm hoping that what will happen is she will, based on this conversation, she will have her heart open to what's next. Whether her man is in Casa Amor is a bit of a question at this point.
Not
those men are slim pickings at this point. Somebody would have to be out of this world really from those guys. And I'm just wondering how things are going to come in now that we had that news that came out that one of the guys got pulled.
So, Big Greg, hi, how are you doing today? The girl's answer was something like they can't see Giovanni making any connections while they could see Jeremy making some. That's garbage.
I didn't say that.
Jeremy didn't make connections, and his connection that he made is leaving.
Right. I don't remember them saying something like that, but I can't see.
You need to stop blaming the girls, because there's no way they chose Jeremy themselves.
I'm saying so many people are like, this is it. The whole show, none of these people deserve to win. They kicked off. I'm like, somebody's literally arguing with me right now on Twitter, because somebody said that this has to be producer led, because this doesn't make any sense. And somebody's like, what are you talking about? The girls kicked them out. And as I stated, my theory, I don't see it's possible that just the girls kicked them out. At the most, it was probably a tie. So who would be the tiebreaker if it was a tie? It's not like it was 3 girls and then so one girl got overruled. It's a tie. What would they do in a tie? Because somebody else said, oh, producers can't manipulate the vote. We're like, nobody's saying they manipulated the vote. What they did was manipulate what the outcome of the vote is. And they allowed the vote to stand. It's just that we didn't get to choose the final results of the vote, which I know that they can do. They have it in all their contracts that is something that they can do. Change
Did they say explicitly that the lowest couple will be dumped?
No. It says it said you're voting for your favorite couple. The top 3 couples will stay in the villa. That's all it said. And that's why I kept telling people, please be careful what you're voting for. I told people to vote for Giovanni.
Well, at least you know, though, that like they won't let them be dumped just automatically.
Right. So I told people this. This is, I feel good in that I voted for my top 2 couples, which was Giovanni and Olivia. I know people hated Olivia, but I was like, I don't care. I want to keep Giovanni in. I'm going to vote for her. And I voted for Cash and Corey. That was my top 2 couples.
I love though when Giovanni was leaving and he just was like, he's saying to Olivia, good luck, sweetie. I did cry a little bit. Like, I thought it was a pretty sweet moment. Like, he was so like uplifting and he's kind and like, you know, she gets to stay there and continue on her journey and his journey is gone and he didn't get to find love either. And he tried so hard with her and, you know, she just broke it off with him and then the producers send him home. And I'm just like, why would they do that? Like, it's just so harsh, you know?
Yeah, his Instagram, I haven't. So we see Amy's back on Instagram. I don't know if Wes is back on his Instagram, but we have not seen Giovanni come back on his Instagram. The person who's running his Instagram is still sharing other people's
content,
like takes on what happened and reactions. I know, again, I think Giovanni is a sweet guy. I think he was a catch. And I know this is probably hurting him. It was like when he did his last vlog, that was really sad. Like, I don't feel like he deserved this at all.
So there's a few like interesting scenes that happen. So we see Cinco and Trina talking and they both pretty much thought that they were going to be the ones that were going to be leaving, which I thought was interesting. Cinco and Cash were talking right after and she's kind of hugging him and like I thought that I was like, ooh, like this might be too close and cuddly that you guys are being right now. Like I mean, if I were Trina, I'd be kind of like a little bit vexed about that, but she wasn't, or she didn't see it anyways. But she's just talking about like, you know, you're such a good man, like you're just like you're the best, like really, really saying nice things about Cinco.
She literally sees the best in everybody. I aspire to be like that because she really does. Even with Jeremy, she was hugging Jeremy on the bed, and I mean, and then people are all like, "Oh, how Jeremy is really going through it." That Florida left, and they're like, and then Corey's like, and then they're like, "Oh, Corey's fine." She's like, "Corey is not fine. He's not fine." And I'm like, that's really telling that everybody thinks Corey was supposed to be fine, and the only person that knows that he's not fine is Cash.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they were just kind of like everybody's like being like, oh, it's so weird, like it's so empty in here, like the bedrooms are all so empty because there's only the 5 couples now, and there've been more than 5. There are like 10 people in the villa for the last couple of weeks, and so they're kind of noticing that the emptiness, and it's just kind of back to all OGs except for Giovanni. Who else is not an OG?
They're all
Will kind of Cinco kind of are, kind of aren't, but yeah.
Yeah.
So do we think that Josh is okay? So they were talking about like whether or not Shannon thought that Josh was going to ask her to be his girlfriend, and she was like, "Well, he's only had one girlfriend, and like I don't really think he's going to do that." What do you think about them, boyfriend and girlfriend wise?
I think they're laying the groundwork for Josh doing something at Casa Amor. Again, this is another comment that somebody made on Twitter that, oh, why is it that people aren't voting for the couples that are coupled up? Why are you voting for friendship couples? Why would you vote for Cash and Corey? It's not fair. And when there's other couples that are in love, and I'm like, there is absolutely no exclusive couple no couple in love, no couple who even look romantically anywhere near that sitting in the villa right now. I said not one of those couples. And it like Josh and Shannon, I think she probably feels like that because they had sex, which is why then you probably should not have had sex with him. Because my whole thing is Kira and Will have had a more time, if you think about it, as a together couple, because Josh and Shannon were still kind of up and down for a week in between. Um, and we don't even see Kira and Will do the boyfriend and girlfriend dance around the villa. So I just, these couples aren't strong to me, let alone that the fact that they're bringing absolutely nothing and they're boring.
I'm
So
bored with them. I find that they've been in a couple because nobody's come in to test them or like break them up. We've just basically been kicking off people that have been trying to find a connection. And so I don't feel strong about them. I'm not like, oh, these people are going to win. Oh, they're such a strong couple. Oh, they're going to last the test of time. Like, none of that. Like, the couples, like, when Amber and Michael, when Casa Amor happened, I thought they were a strong couple. You know what I mean? And, like, that's why it was shocking when somebody was able to turn his head.
yeah.
None of these people, I'll be shocked if their heads get turned because they're not a strong couple. You're not picturing me like, oh, I can see them building a relationship. Oh, I like the vibe that they have together. Like, oh, they just have so much fun, or their banter's so good. Like, there's nothing really memorable about any of these relationships other than that they kiss a lot, you know?
Yeah, and somebody asked which couple you could see making it out the villa, and I don't see any of them. Like, I know that people think because Kira and Will know each other or know of each other that there's some. Because they don't know. They literally came in like fourth place, like fourth place in the vote tally of knowing each other. So they've been technically coupled up the longest. Supposedly, all they do, based on what Christian says, based on what Roxy Leanne says, based on what Isaiah says, they're off to the side by themselves talking. What are you guys talking about? If you guys, they should have won that challenge because they're the only ones who have spent.
I mean, there's definitely, I'd say, a language barrier as well, but I don't feel like they talk about anything.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. They're not talking about anything, and if there's a language barrier that you can't get to know a person, like it's something is not there. Same thing with what I said about Trina and Cinco. Why was she asking him how tall he was? Like, that's the first question.
So Allie here wants to know, okay, so she says, Jeremy said at the beginning that he was not looking for anything serious because he was still shell-shocked from the girl he was going to marry ghosted him. By the way, Jeremy is Mexican-American too.
No, he said he was looking for something serious, and that because he wanted something, he feels like he's a relationship type person. When he said he didn't want anything serious, is then all of a sudden he's talking to Trina and she's talking about whether they could go do long distance, and he was like, oh, I'm not looking for something that serious. Now she also has kind of made a 180 on that too, because this episode, that same conversation they're having, she says that, oh, she doesn't think she could do long distance. It's never worked for her. It's not something she likes to do. So all of a sudden you were willing to like do long distance with Jeremy, but now you're questioning, and you and Cinco are supposed to be so secure and so tight. You don't think you could do long distance with him, but you also don't want to put pressure on him. So I'm just like, these couple, like going into this Casa Amor, I don't see any of these couples coming out of it cool. Like the only couple that I said, and I'm like, how would that even work? The only couple I can see coming back together is Cash and Cinco. How is that crazy? That's crazy. That is crazy. I can literally see Cash going in there and finding nobody that she wants and coming back to Cinco, and Cinco going in there and finding and missing Cash, because we all know that Cash has an energy that's just different from somebody else, and saying, you know what, I miss, and they're not even coupled up together.
I can see that for sure. So Cinco does tell the guys tells Josh and Corey that he still has feelings for Cash, and the whole what if scenario is coming up. And so he does say, which version of yourself do you prefer to be? And so he seems like he decided on Trina, though, in that little bit of a conversation, being kind of like, well, like when I was thinking about that, that's why I chose Trina, because like I like that version of myself. But then it seems also, though, that like maybe he was lying to himself at that time, because like, when he talks to Cash later on, when she's laying on like all the like, talking about how much like how good they are together in this spark and people can see it and all that stuff. And he agreed with it. It's not even like he just didn't say anything. He actually agreed. He says, yes, that's true. He didn't shoot down any of the things that she was saying. So I wish that Cinco could just figure out what he wants and just let her know. You know what I mean?
He said, I feel like that conversation with Cash stirred up some feelings. And I'm just like, no conversation with a person can stir up feelings. Those feelings were already there. You're just ignoring them because you think that you should be with Trina. I'm not sure what it is about the whole thing with Trina. It's still that he thinks he should be with her, because I'm not seeing it. If you're bored in a relationship, why do you feel like you should be with her other than a sexual one?
Just like, okay, Shaz wants to know. Okay, so it says that they're setting this this Casa Amor for Josh to do something stupid, so Shannon will blow up. I really hope that Josh don't do nothing dumb, because the producers. I hope he does do something dumb, because Shannon said that she's the happiest that she's ever been. So if she's the happiest she's ever been, she's gonna be heartbroken and be.
There's none of these couples that I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Cash and Corey. And they're not a couple. There's none of these couples that I'm rooting for. Josh and Shannon, I don't believe them that it's going to last. I keep seeing people saying they're how in love they are, and I'm like, based off of what? Because they had sex? Like that, to me, I can have sex with anybody. That doesn't mean I'm in love with them. Like, they're not there yet. So I can see both of them. I technically can see both of them going in there and be like, oh, I found somebody else.
It's also different too when somebody is interested in you and you don't have like how Florida was interested in Josh, but like Shannon was there like looking on, that she probably
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
so without having Shannon looking on, I see both of them being like Josh and whoever girl is interested in him being like, feeling free to explore however they want. So
with Cinco, if his choice at the end of the day is Trina, I can see him having that same thing, because it seems like what Trina does is just hang on him and make it so that he's not able to explore anything outside of that. And so I think he'll feel free in Casa Amor, but I think what he would miss most is Cash, his personality and energy.
Ali, this is a good idea here. So Ali thinks that they should do a spin-off, Love Island USA Second Chances, including previously dumped Islanders from all seasons. I think I would love that. Get them all back together and do like a reshuffling.
Yeah, I mean, like an all-star version.
Kinda.
Yeah, I like it. Let me see. I'm trying to see who I would want on that cast. Oof.
I'd watch it if they did that type of show. Absolutely, I would watch it.
I would watch it.
It's a great idea, and it would separate the USA from the UK's version, because it's something completely different. It would just make it their own. And then they could have a little more creative license as to not try to copy the UK, but they can start creating their own series. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like Alana from season 1, she definitely deserves a second chance. She's also older than she was when the show was on, when her season was on. Giovanni would deserve a second chance. I guess Trey, some people like him. I can't stand him, but Benny, I think Benny would be good, because he, I don't think he got a chance. And he seems like, based on following him on IG, I think seems like a good guy.
People thought that he was playing a game, but who cares? I think Jalen was cute. He kind of
Jalen. I actually liked Jalen, So, I mean, I know a lot of people thought he was playing the game, but I'm like, Mackenzie, regardless of who it was, Mackenzie was going to do what she was doing. Once the public voted against her and Connor and put them in the bottom, she could not let it go. It's kind of like the Toby and Chloe situation in UK, like just couldn't get it out of her head that she wasn't a favorite couple, which is kind of what like I really wish that Giovanni and Olivia were in the top, and like Akira and Will or Shannon, Josh had gotten more shaken up by being in the bottom.
Hi, Underground. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we're with you here. So I don't see how they're going to sell me on a true love story this late in the season with no believable connections yet. Agreed.
Yeah. I think the US
for these couples, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think USA is different in that versus the UK, because like you had Amber and Greg. He literally came in like the week before the show ended, and she was still able to win. To be fair, I do feel like I thought that they were gonna come out of the villa and actually go someplace. Like
they did for a bit, but
I don't know if that's sellable in the US.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, yeah. Not for the people that they cast. And it said like it's more likely for UK people to get into relationships. They're more relationship minded than the US are. The US people play the field. They want to date a lot. But in the UK, it seems that people want to start families a lot earlier, get into long-term relationships earlier. So I think that that's why it's a little more believable as well. Is that like they're more relationship people. Okay, because y'all got to think looks ain't anything. Cash's personality is more important than looks. You can't just be a pretty face, and I think Cinco realizes that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think he gets that now.
Absolutely.
But whether he has the balls to get out of his situation, I think coupling up with Cash right now is, oh, well, Cash and Corey were able to beat me and Trina out. So maybe if I get with Cash, maybe I have a shot at the money.
He does.
I think that might give him a little more balls, but.
That's interesting, actually. The fact that like her power is keeping her in the top 3 couples, and she's in a friendship couple, and me and my boo here is like in the bottom 4 couples. Mm-hmm. That would shake me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So Son thinks he may leave Cinco. He said to Cash, how would I do it? I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it, which is why I'm saying that I don't know if Cinco, if the way that what we're hearing from everybody is that Cinco's a nice guy and he feels caught between a rock and a hard place, and he doesn't know how to leave Trina. I don't think he's going to be able to, and which is fine. I think what we'll see is either Trina will end up bringing somebody back from Casa Amor, or he's going to bring somebody back from Casa Amor when she's out of his ear the whole time.
Naomi wants to know, why beg Cinco to see her potential?
I don't feel like she was begging. I feel like she was showing him what everybody. So again, everybody in the villa is saying to Cash that they see that he's a different person when he's in this new relationship with Trina than he was with her. And she was not sure if Cinco saw it. And so what she was doing is laying out, when you were with me, we were hugged up like this. When you're with her, you're like this with her. When when you were with me, we did this. When you're with her, you don't do those things. And I thought that was what you like to do. So my whole thing is either stop the bullshit and leave me alone, or come back to me, because otherwise you don't seem happy, and it's making me unhappy because I think that I'm the better person for you. So what's it going to be? And he's still hemming and hawing. So he's like, listen, she's like, I deserve a relationship that's special. I don't deserve a relationship that's ordinary. And I agree with her. I don't feel like that was begging, though. Why is it when Cash is telling
Yeah, like
Cinco.
Trina wasn't being called out for begging for a kiss and
Yeah.
throwing herself at him. Like,
Yeah, like why is it now that Cash is coming for what she wants and she's laying out why she's the better relationship than Trina? It's her begging rather than her showing that you're in a
well, then
non
how come Olivia didn't get? She was begging Will. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
right. Yeah, I just feel like people want Cash to just take whatever and be gone, and I don't feel like that's fair.
Sorry, Brandy, what do you mean here? They have better bombshells than Casa Amor, the UK? I
Who?
believe Cinco is never giving up cachet. He will always have a thing for her. I've seen it many, many, many times.
I can
I
believe
have a lot
it.
of people that I've had those similar relationships with, and like they never choose me in the end. So I could see that happening to Cash as well.
Yeah, I can see it, which is why I'm hoping that I just wish there was a person who could just show her that the world is better than Cinco is giving her.
Not who producers choose on to come on this show.
Not at all.
They choose Cash because they think that they're being edgy and they're open to diversity, and she has a shaved head and she's a great person.
Yeah.
Like she chose her because she's great, but
Yeah.
like I think they're making a statement with choosing her
Yeah.
as well. And
Right.
so they aren't backing up the statement by having someone that could actually match her and
Right.
that would be good for her. Because everybody that they're bringing in there is not to make her win or like
Right.
have a great relationship. They're not looking out for her in that way.
Yeah, and somebody did. I've only seen like a few people. It's only been like one or two people who have actually said, "I don't feel like you guys understand. Cash, Trina have no other options at this point but Cinco. The producers haven't brought in anybody who generally really wants a black woman. That and it's true. It's true.
So no, there's no episodes today. You can watch the drop if you want to be bored.
Did you watch the Laid Bear one? Did you watch the Laid Bear episode?
Oh no, I only watched the drop.
Okay.
I guess I'll watch that. I don't know. I just was like, it really took the wind out of my sails with how this episode went down. Like I was just so disappointed with like the fact that they can go in and manipulate it in a way that I completely do not agree with, and it just like I kind of was like. I don't know. I don't even know if I care because like I don't care about Jeremy's journey. I don't care like the Cinco whatever love triangle with like Cash. That's okay, but it's like she's not going to find anybody in Casa Amor anyways. I don't think from who they're bringing in over there. So I'm kind of like, so she's just going to stay hung up on Cinco, and like I'm like that sucks. And yeah, I'm just like I just got really underwhelmed. So I didn't watch Laid Bear. Okay, Brandy thinks that Cash was outnumbered, and that's why Giovanni is gone. Are y'all forgetting how Trina got Cinco? Get him how you lose him.
Yes.
Get him. Yep.
They've forgotten, or in their opinion, she deserves Cinco and Cash deserves nothing. That's what I'm getting from it.
So I don't know, man. Like I really feel
Trina. You think Trina decided that she wanted to keep Jeremy? Trina.
Oh, people are agreeing with this idea. Maybe make a pitch, Allie. Put together a pitch package and send it to CBS or Viacom. You never know. Giovanni's such a good guy, has a beautiful energy. We know. Okay.
For real.
As you were saying, Jeremy's name, that's telling that person's trying to make people dislike Cachet.
He literally could not say his name. She literally closed her eyes and just like, I just have to say it.
Oh, that's what she's saying. That she choked that she was saying it. Yeah, because she didn't want to say it. They always put the most controversial person to read or to say who's being dumped, who's going to make the most impact. And so I agree that they're trying to make Cash look not as great. I want Giovanni. Yes, he is a Leo. Josh and Shannon are a weird couple. Exactly. But people are just like riding for them. It's so hard.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that Balo isn't going to be on there anymore. Tamika shared with me some of his Instagram posts or sorry, TikToks, and he kind of was insinuating like murder a little bit, as a joke. And then there's also other messaging where he's DM or he was adding Johnny from Love Island 2, being like, I'm not going to be on it, bro, or like CBS doesn't like.
And then he has a IG post where he's in the airport. They're like, this is because I think some people actually thought somebody said they thought it might be a COVID situation, but he's in the airport, so it said it's my home. So yeah, the producers definitely caught Balo. So me and somebody else were talking about, we'll have to see whether he already made it into the villa and then they're gonna pull him out like a Noah, or they just like replaced him in total, or
I hope that they replace him because I want another person.
Yeah, I'm praying that they replace him.
Thanks for joining us. What happened? Okay, so yeah, we just said it. Shannon is tolerating Josh to win just because they hooked up doesn't mean they're in love. They're not.
No, they're not.
I think Michael turned on Amber because he didn't like that someone said he was whipped.
That's what I kept saying the entire time. I said he only did that because the guys were saying that he was whipped because he couldn't rein Amber in. And I was so pissed at him for that. That was the reason why I was pissed at him.
I was mad, so mad at Michael. No relationship is perfect, and that's why I think Will and Kira won't make it because it's not reality. I'd rather get tested as much there than on the outside.
This is true. I agree.
It's not Cinco's responsibility to save Trina. He cannot save her from herself and her insecurities. She needs to work through them, perhaps before getting involved with anyone. I do agree with that.
I agree with that. I think that's her problem. That's her problem.
With this boring episode, they do get a text and they're going to do Battle of the Sexes and some Love Island games. And so one was that they had to like have a little boat that they had to go and collect hearts, and then they had to break some actual hearts, and then they had to. The only interesting part, I guess, was learning that Shannon's family has an archery company, and so she teaches archery, and then she couldn't really use the Nerf gun or whatever kind of gun it was. That was kind of interesting, but the men beat the women in all the rounds, and
the interesting part was Cash and Corey fencing. It was so cute.
Yes, she did so much more.
But yeah,
with the balloons, yes, it was kind of cute. But who cares? I don't care.
Boring. It was absolutely boring. That game was probably the most boring game that they've done the entire season so far, and I was just like, this is terrible. Like, is this what? Thank God they're doing Casa Amor come Sunday, because I can't imagine going through another few episodes of what the tail end of this episode was like.
Right? It's shocking how the dynamics completely changed by one person leaving. Like, I wonder if they recognize it, or if they think that like, oh, Jeremy's long hair is still on the show, it's going to get so many ratings.
Yeah.
I don't know. The boys have a chat, and Cinco says that he doesn't have deep conversations with Trina, which is interesting.
Shocker. I'm like, shocker. We knew this. It literally shows, dude.
Yeah, it's just, I don't understand. So I don't know. A few other conversations happened. The night portion comes along, and Olivia and Cash kind of like, decide that they're going to pump the brakes or leave me alone. Oh, pump the brakes or leave me alone. And so she wants to get some clarity with Cinco. And I mean, I hope that this is it for her, though. I hope that she's not going to be asking him any more times to show how great she is. She's already laid it out there. Be like, listen, this is what I offer. This is what I think you want. This is what I think you like. This is where I see you shining, and that's with me. If you don't see that, and if you're not willing to take that leap of faith to be with me, that is all on you, and that shows your character in what you choose is worthy of being with. But I just hope that she's like done with proving herself to Cinco being worthy.
Yeah, I hope the producers hear that. That's it. We're done. We don't need no more of this anymore. This whole conversation. Either the next conversation is Cinco saying, Cash, I'm done with you, and I chose Trina, or Cash, I want to be with you, and then they go into Casa Amor. I don't want to hear Cash going after Cinco anymore. I think she did her job, and this is it.
Okay, hi Adrian. Cinco is also worried about hurting Trina. He knows she isn't as strong as Cash.
I agree. I think that's part of the problem. Part of the problem.
Sorry, like I don't want anybody to be hurt, and I understand that people have insecurities, and I've been quite hard on Trina for her actions, not for what has caused her to have these, to be acting this way. But I was really frustrated when Cinco was telling her how he was feeling about Cash, and then she was taking, like, obviously being like, it's all about me again. Like, I'm in this relationship where I'm not the chosen one. Why isn't he picking me? I don't want to be with a man that has his eye on somebody else. It's like, wait. He had his eye on somebody else when you took him. When you interfered, you inserted yourself in their relationship, and she took a step back to be like, well, I think then it's like, you know, you guys must have something really special. I'm not going to get in the way of that. And now she's realizing you guys don't really have anything that special. What they had was a little bit, in her eyes, more special. And now you think that you're the victim? How is she the victim? Please explain.
I don't know. That was every time Trina opens her mouth, it's very frustrating for me. And I do have to say this. I've called everything of what Trina's motivations in this before hearing her story on the Laid Bare episode. And I just feel like, as somebody said, Trina's not going to be able to have a proper relationship with anybody until she deals with her own insecurities. Because even in this with Cinco, she's actually kind of putting her own insecurities on their relationship, because she's scared that she's going to lose him, and she's scared that she that this relationship is not strong enough. But it was okay when it was on the other side and she was taking somebody else. So at the end of the day, I think what she needs to do is work within herself of what she needs to do. But I don't know if she's going to be able to do that on the show. She might not be able to do that until she gets off the show. And so while I don't have any sympathy for how she acted on the show, I do hope and pray that when she gets off the show and she sees some of these things, that she can start working through them so that she can have and I know there's some people who really believe that this is editing. That's not how she is. But she literally gave a story of what she went through and what it brought up in her and how she tried to fix herself. And I just don't think she's there yet. Mind you, she looked beautiful sitting on that couch with him. Probably her best look. The girl is gorgeous. She just has to fix her inside. And until she does that, she's never going to be able to get the relationship that she's looking for. And that doesn't have to do with the guy. And that doesn't have to do with Cash. That has to do with her.
Yeah, for sure. So the last scene, we've talked about it quite a bit already, but is with Cinco and Cash. And I just loved, like, as soon as they came together and she's like, what, are you one of those guys that just like holds the same drink for 3 hours? And I just died because they called him out, and I'm like, those guys are so annoying. Finish your damn drink.
It's just a totally different energy that their relationship is. It's just it just different. Like, it's just 180. Like, I don't know what that's about.
It was just really fun to watch them. And I was just like, man, like, why does he need to be conflicted? You know, why does the better match for you always have to be like, hey, like, I know we're good together. Just see me. And like, I've said it already, but like, I know exactly what she's going through. There's been a couple of people in my life that I know that I was the one that they wanted to be with, you know, they wanted to marry, and they never chose me. They always chose the next girl after that wasn't as great as I was. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not allowed to talk to them anymore because like we had something special, and like, you know what I mean? And they're jealous of our relationship. So like, I lose a friend and the potential because they're too scared of who they need to be in order to be in a relationship with me or with Cash or with all these amazing women that like that never get the guy because the guy can't rise up to how great she is, and they are feeling their insecurities because like, man, like she deserves someone awesome. I don't know if I can be that awesome. I think that Cinco is going in. It's like, man, she thinks so highly of me and I think so highly of her. I don't think that I can be good enough for Cash. And I think that that's kind of coming into play here on top of, you know, wanting to be with someone. It's easier to be with Trina. Like, you just can like lay around. You can just compliment her a little bit, kiss her. Like, you don't need to have the deep conversations. You don't need to do that much. It's just it's a very surface level, very easy relationship to have.
Right.
Cash would be just her presence demands a little bit more substance, and I don't think that he can uphold that. And I think that that's where the it's not working.
Yeah, I think at this point, this is why it's really hard to root for any of these couples because that's where they all are. They're all in surface relationships, and they're not challenging themselves to actually have better chemistry, better flow, to actually build better relationship, which is why I can't see any of them moving beyond the villa at this point.
Divine Me says, hi, Divine. I'll say hi, Divine Me. I get the idea that the game was a prediction of the couples that will split up after Casa Amor. Didn't all the guys all win? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know which game.
It's that game, the Battle of the Sexes, right?
Was there a game on the drop? I didn't watch the drop, so.
Oh, that game! I stopped. Okay, we'll talk about it in one sec. I may be dead inside, but I felt nothing with Trina crying. It's hard for me to feel sympathy for someone who, in some ways, caused the situation. In some ways,
yeah, no, in all her ways. That's my whole thing. Like, I want to feel bad, but I can't feel bad because I feel like she did this to herself. She was insecure. Like I said, Jeremy came and brought up all her insecurities of growing up, being the lone Black girl in a sea of Black boys that would not get the guy, that would get shunned, that would get dumped, that would get hidden. And this brought up all those insecurities for her. And so what she did was she went after what she knew she could go after, and because it would take away for somebody that she felt was lower than her.
Mm-hmm. To build her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a psychiatric nurse. She is.
Yeah.
I understand Trina's baggage and why she moves the way she does, but that does not excuse her behavior. Absolutely not. Just because you are a hurt person doesn't give you the right to hurt other people. 100% agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that Love Island is the right setting for Trina. I don't think so either. I appreciate that Cash actually gave Cinco and Trina all the space to discover if their relationship is what Trina thought it could be. So I think that it's about time Cash moving on with Cinco now. We'll see. Some people who work regularly deal with issues around mental health are greatly affected more than people think.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I used to work for a behavioral mental health center, and I will tell you, the therapists sometimes were more out there than their patients. So you see a lot, and you have your own personal things, and you can't bring it to work, and it's just a lot.
We enjoy you being here as well, Divine Me. Everybody in the chat, it's like so rainy over here right now. Like, it's super dark, like it's nighttime, like really? It's really dark. It's like the apocalypse. So I'm so happy to be talking about lovely Love Island. Done. There was really nothing this episode. Like, who cares about the challenge? I don't.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Conversations, you know?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Hi, Darlene. Okay, Amy being okay with Wes now might be seeing her in a different might be her seeing a different perspective once out of the villa based on the public reaction. Well, I mean, maybe seeing him like walk down the street and be like, oh, that's my man. Like, maybe that's what it's like, you know, like he's tall, he's hot. Like,
I mean, we don't know what connection they were building the last week because they really didn't show them much. I don't even know if they showed them like kissing, but I I mean, they could have built a quick, he really went after her, so they could have built something. But
I'm sure that they have. They had a couple little moments that I remember where like he made her laugh and giggle a little bit, and like I could see her warming up to him a bit. I think she just was closed off because she wanted Jeremy, but when she realized what she has in front of her, like I think she'll be like, oh right, you're like really good looking and you're very successful and you're into me.
And to be fair, I think Wes is a good guy, and he's quality. He's a quality catch. Like I said, Harvard man. Seems very intelligent. He seems very accomplished.
He's a relationship guy. I like that.
Yeah, he seems like a relationship guy. He's a catch. He's a catch. So
people are hating on Cash on bad on Facebook and Reddit. People on Facebook and Reddit are the people that I don't enjoy about reality TV, the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the world of reality TV has the people from like on Reddit. They're just so they're hateful to the wrong people. Like it's just I just don't even understand how they could be hating on Cash. Cash has done absolutely nothing but just hoped that she could find love.
You would think she killed Trina's dog. Like that's how bad they hate her.
The producers are pushing the subtitles so much. I mean,
what else is going on? Again, and this is what I keep bringing up. People like in the Love Island Facebook group keep bringing up, oh, Cash did this and Cash did that. I said, y'all seem to keep talking about Cash. There's a reason for that. She's the star. She's the only one bringing anything to this show right now. What is everybody else? What is Will and Kiera doing? What is Shannon and Josh doing? What is like if Cash hadn't brought Cinco back into this thing, Cinco and Trina would be sitting on a couch somewhere doing nothing. There is nothing going on in the show currently but Cash. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's not fair that Cash has to carry the show on her back now. Poor Giovanni is gone.
Hi, Tati. Hey, everyone. Last night's dumping got me waking up at 12. Oh my God, last night's dumping was just stupid. I'm still mad. Cinco wants a mashup of Trina and Cash's personality. No, I think he just feels bad about letting go Trina because she's in a very vulnerable state. And he doesn't want to be the cause of maybe her having a breakdown of some sort. Like, because people can sense when others are a little bit off, like if they're suffering from any mental health issues, like he could be like, I don't want to be the one that sends her over the edge. He could probably be sensing that it's a possibility that she might not rebound very quickly from if he lets her go. So I'm sure that he is tippy-toeing around that relationship. He's handcuffed in a way to be worried about her mental health. I wouldn't be surprised. At all, actually. Hi, Crystal. Amy got long, dark, black hair. Girl, yes. She is so nice. Yeah, she's nice. She's sweet. She's beautiful. I wish that she wasn't interested in Jeremy because that also messed up the dynamic. Like, I wish that if she had just allowed Wes to even pursue her, we would have shipped them, and maybe Josh and they were the second couple. Maybe Kiera and Will would have gone. Like we might have been able to get them up, and then it would have shaken things up in the end, and it wouldn't have been Jeremy that stayed. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Wes is delicious. I know. Like people make fun of me because I'm so thirsty for him, but like he's just like one of the sexiest men I've seen on TV in a while.
Yeah, I try not to focus on him. He's a Gemini. He's bad for me. So
I love a Gemini.
Not good for me.
Imagine if they brought Wes in for Casa Amor. They would have brought him back to the villa. They would have brought him back to the villa. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Cash and him would have coupled up at that point.
If he just had come in then, like, they messed up their order.
They did. They should have saved him and Slade for
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Giovanni is a type of man who not everybody's going to be super attracted to. So he might not be the catch with these women in Casa Amor. So they needed to bring somebody in for Giovanni because he's not that type of guy that every single girl is going to be like, yeah, like you need a me or a Sally or a you or like, all the people that are obsessed with him. But we don't get cast in those positions on these shows.
Yeah, and somebody was like, oh, they should just bring him back for Casa Amor and replace Ballo. And that's not how it works. He'll be coming to go for the same girls. They would have to put him back into the villa with the guys, and then he goes correctly into Casa Amor with the new girls. It's not happening. I don't see it happening.
Agreed, Netha. I think that he's happy with Amy.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I also worked in mental health for a long time. I guess that's why I can't appreciate Trina's behavior in Love Island, because it affects other.
Facts. Absolute facts.
Well, and it's just kind of like she should know a little bit better, right?
Yeah, absolute facts. Like, she didn't ever think what it would do, the emotional impact it would have on Cash, and the mental impact that it would have on Cash. It had Cash questioning her sanity, and she's going. This is the thing. Like, people are not understand. I've been there. You're questioning your sanity because you're like, I'm not crazy, right? He's still flirting with me. I'm not crazy, right? Like, he's still doing this, and this with me. Like, it's not me, because everybody made it seem like she was the better person. She was who he should be with, except for Giovanni. And now I'm seeing that it's not her. It was me. So what am I supposed to do with this? And that's why I'm saying I understand it. She needed to get it out of her system. She was never going to be able to move on without opening herself up to him and getting it out of her system. What I hope is, now that she's done that, she can move forward.
Thanks, Earth Angel. We're loving the chat today. We're just basically we're just mourning here the loss of Giovanni. He definitely was done dirty by production.
Hashtag justice for Giovanni.
Justice for
trending on Twitter.
Okay, I'll get it. I'll start getting it trended. I'll put it in this chat, the description box. Justice for Giovanni. So Amy on IG shared them in a hotel. I know he's putting on a shirt and showed her thigh in the bed. I know, and I think she said something like this. Oh, look at this view, or like, look what I get to see, or something like that. So, yeah, well, rightfully so. He's also 20.
He's 20. Like I said, I said that alone, based on the people who are left, should have gotten him not even cast. I don't understand what they were thinking. And somebody's like, do they not vet the people that they brought on the show? And I was like, they don't.
4.5 million followers, and they're just like,
ooh, exactly. That's all they saw. They're like, oh, we can bring some TikTok followers to our thing. That's the same thing they did with Katie on The Bachelorette, and they're regretting it now, because they said, like, if right now was Bree spring season, Piper season, both Piper season, like Abigail season, I think we would, even if they kept the same guys, I think we would, like, the ratings would have been off the roof.
Oh my God, if it was Abigail, I think Abigail could work with those men.
Oh my God, Abigail could definitely work with those men. Abigail could have definitely worked with those men. I just don't know what they were thinking, except for that she had all these TikTok followers. That's it, because she's basic, and like, I don't appreciate.
So funny that you said basic. My mom said to me, she's like, she's so basic, and I'm like, oh my God. Me and Tanya talked about how basic she was on my podcast. So my mom went and listened. She's like, oh my God, you both said that she's basic, and because my mom was feeling proud of herself for calling her like the right, like, she's basic. Now you're calling her she's basic. Like, is
the only name for her. She's very basic, and it's not like the only reason to watch this season is for her guys, because I think they're gonna go farther in Bachelor Nation to other shows. Potentially one of them could be, I can see a couple of them actually going out to be in The Bachelor in the future. Katie herself gave us nothing.
And she did not care about who she picks in the end.
I mean, especially out of the guys she has left. I mean, I have a theory.
Not a popular opinion, because he's a Gemini, but like, I like Thomas more than I like these losers. And Justin.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I'm done with her.
Brandy laughed, and so did I. It's just such an endearing moment when I saw all the guys wearing do-rags and bandanas. Giovanni and Wes were the barbers. Now both of them are gone. Shoot, I'm sure that Cinco can cut hair, no? Maybe not his own, though.
Maybe not his own, but
Corey?
Maybe, no. Somebody gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, they're just gonna have like not. Oh my god, that doesn't look cute at all.
They should have thought of that before they got rid of them. So,
we're giving Cinco too much credit. I mean, I think that
he gives him too much credit on what though, like thought processes, or
no? Like I'm assuming is that giving him too much credit of being concerned with Trina's mental health. I think that he might not be thinking about that like consciously, but I think in the back of his mind, you know, when someone's a little bit unstable in that kind of way, and that if you were to break it off with them, maybe they would have, like, they might not emotionally be ready or prepared to do that. And so I could see him being a little bit like tippy-toeing around that because he doesn't want to see her hurt.
I do not think he would leave Trina. I think we said it a bunch of times, didn't we, that he would not leave Trina. The only reason why I think he's contemplating leaving Trina is because I think he realized that, Cash might be it. Like, I think he does generally like Cash, but I also think he's like, we might be the better couple for people to root for, and that's it. I don't think he has the balls to leave Trina either way, but I definitely put most of this on him. He needs to make a decision, but I also feel like Trina involved herself in a situation that if she had not involved herself in a situation, we would have seen a totally different show. They would be so far advanced right now that I don't think anybody would have been able to touch them. And I'm not saying their relationship would have been perfect, but I do feel like he and Cash would have had a good relationship going forward.
It would have been substantial. It would have been equal or even more far along as the current relationships. And would have enjoyed their loving up each other and like having little jokes. And we love their inside jokes. We love them playing, like, just teasing each other. Like, we like how they interact. And so we would just at least been entertained by their coupledom.
Right.
So we agree with you, Tati. They did literally say the two most white and boring Islanders. They aren't that exciting at all.
Pretty much.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, Wes. Oh my goodness. My goodness. So handsome. Oh, they're hating on Cache because she's the darkest one on Love Island. Yep, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've gotten from it. Has long dark clip-ins. Okay, yeah, most of them wear clip-ins. Some
fans are always saying Cinco doesn't want Cash, but they're so wrong. They're just blinded.
Yeah.
Missed it. Hashtag get Jeremy gone. Hashtag like it's not possible. He's there to the end. They're trying to push for the bad dark skin narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I want Cash to find someone at Casa Amor. You've seen the guys at Casa Amor, right? She's not funny either.
I don't see anything.
Not at all. Maybe Shannon might be tempted by one of the couple of those guys. Corey might be tempted by a couple of those guys. Girls, sorry.
Yeah. Like I said, I could definitely see Jeremy.
Jeremy,
they're coupled up technically, right? So I could definitely see Jeremy saying, you know what, I'm going to pick Olivia. I don't trust him.
Hi, Mira. Thanks for joining us. So love Cash. Hate the way Trina went about it. Absolutely. But she is not solely to blame. True. Is it Mari or Man? Man continued to get away with this. Yes, they do. They do get away with like, you know, putting women on the back burners, not being completely honest, like allowing them to still lust after. But it is the name of the show a little bit to, you know, keep your options open and kind of explore. So I do think that they get to explore that, and then they don't have to make these decisions. They get to be wishy-washy.
So somebody else said something similar to this, that the reason why they feel Cash is begging and why Cash is playing herself is because I don't see myself going to no man to beg him to be with me, or going after any man when he chose somebody else already and is in a couple with them. And I'm like, I noticed this, and I think I mentioned this a couple episodes ago. There are a lot of new Love Island USA watchers, like USA based Love Island USA watchers, that have not watched the UK version, and it's obvious not watched the prior two seasons. That is the name of this game. You will get nowhere by sitting around waiting for these men to come choose you and coupling up with you. You will not get what you want. You will not win the game. It's a game at the end of the day. You will sit around and you will lose every single time. Cash had to do this. She had to.
She had to shoot her shot.
She had to shoot her shot.
Shoot her shot, because she never told him this before. And would things have been different if she had? Probably.
Right.
So,
and I don't have a problem with Trina shooting her shot. She had to shoot her shot. There was no other guy in there in her head that she would go for. She had to shoot her shot. I don't like the way that Trina went about it. I don't like her trying to kiss him. I don't like her trying to corner him, playing footsies with him, doing stuff like that. That's all. That's it. That's the only thing that Trina did wrong. And also making it seem like Cash was immature and wrong in her feelings of what was going down when she felt disrespected. And now the other problem is that people seem to think that Cash is wrong for last night because she disparaged their relationship. And it's like, so telling somebody the difference that you see, and they're not in an exclusive relationship, between when they were with you and where they're with the person they're with now, is a disparagement. It's involving yourself in their relationship when they're not in a full relationship. Isn't that what Trina said, that they've only been coupled up a few days, they're not in a relationship?
It's the people don't want Cash to get the guy. They don't want it. They don't find her to be attractive enough to be able to get Cinco. They only can understand the narrative of the prettier girl getting the guy. But I totally agree with you. Mira, yes, men can continue to completely get away with this, and because the women are always going to be fighting over them, and they didn't bring in another man for Cash to be interested in. And so this is the one experience that she has, that she let him slip. She gave him up to Trina, and he's allowed to just be all picky, choosy, wishy-washy, because like he has these women throwing themselves at him. He could just, whatever he chooses, like he's going to get somebody. He doesn't lose out at all. And so I do think that he needs to be culpable for not being man enough to and stop playing with their feelings. Agreed, 100%. I just don't think that he has to, because he's always going to have a girl that's going to be interested in him, because there's no scarcity. Cinco's going to do the same thing he did before in an effort to not hurt one of them. Yes, he's going to keep stringing them both along. Absolutely, they both need to leave him alone and let him make his own decisions. Yeah,
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Will and Kira be thinking they're fan favorite?
I'm so mad that they were in the bottom, because I needed them to understand that they are not. Although I do think that there's some older American people who are voting for them.
Yep. I mean, people are just been saying that they're such a strong couple. I'm just like, I'm bored. I don't care about them. Yeah. I want to see them get broken up, and I don't usually want that. I usually want everybody to stay faithful. You know what I mean? I usually don't want them, and I want everybody to not stay faithful.
Yeah.
Which is indicative of how much I respect these people's relationships.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I agree with you here, Earth Angel. Production is not trying to have another couple of color win Love Island again. I can
definitely agree with that. And I could see it. I can see it.
Yes, white couples win on a consistent basis. So if what you are saying is true, that's not cool.
Well, I mean, the season 1, which nobody watched, the couple that won was Elizabeth and Zach, and they were boring as hell. I mean, but I will say, I definitely think their relationship felt stronger than this Will and Kira situation. And even Alex and Dylan felt stronger. And even then, I do feel, whereas Elizabeth and Zach, I really think I felt like they were, really into each other. I was a little iffy on Dylan. I felt like he was, kind of settling. I wasn't sure whether or not him and Alex had it for the long haul. But
But
they didn't.
you won me over.
Yeah, he won me over. But they didn't even. I mean, my favorite couple of the top couples were Caro and what's his name? Uh, I forget right now. And they ended up lasting a year, and the other two couples broke up with inside of 2 months. Because somebody said that to me, that they don't want this to be a thing where the couples get to the end and then they break up, like Justine and Caleb. And I'm like, Justine and Caleb were together for 6 months. I'm like, Johnny and Sally were together for 6 months.
Brandy, I was trying to get it. I was trying to remember. I was trying to.
I know it's an R, but I was like, it's not Rick.
One syllable name. I'm like, I was thinking like Wes is on the brain. I'm like, Wes, no. I'm like Rick, no. I couldn't figure it out.
So Caro and Ray were together for a year, whereas Elizabeth and Zach and Dylan and Alex couldn't make it past 2 months. And again, the top two couples in season 2 were together for 6 months. So at the end of the day, season 1 was worse than season 2 for the top two couples, because they couldn't even make it past Christmas. Like,
what? Wait, so Cash and Trina should now be on par with the way that they're going about getting Cinco?
No.
I think that Cash is taking a little bit more of a mature approach to it, and I don't think that she is acting on insecurities. I think that the way that Trina handled it was because the insecurities that we've already discussed was making her want to feed her ego in her being chosen. She says 100 times, like, you chose me, he chose me, I was chosen, he chose me. And that's what it's feeding her, that's making her feel special and unique. And I think that Cash is like, I just gave it up because I thought you guys had something more special than you actually do. I never really told you how I felt because I didn't want to interfere, but I just can't go on with my journey here on the island without letting you know. And so I think that's what's different.
And also, everything that Trina did was behind Cash's back, and nothing that Cash has done has been behind Trina's back.
Exactly. Not sneaking any kisses in, like walking up the stairs.
Been upfront with both of them on how she feels and where she's at and what she's about to do.
So that's pretty much the episode. I'll tell you briefly, the drop was them playing like a hide and go seek dare game. So like they'd be like, find like a little card, and they'd be like, go to the bathroom, and they'd run to the bathroom in their couple, and they'd find another note and be like, take these Kleenex boxes and then put the ping pong balls in the cleanup box and wrap it around your waist and like bounce up and down until all the balls are out, and whoever the couple wins, and then give each other a kiss. So it was like that. They had to go bring a beach ball between their stomach and like walk back to the group. They had to crawl across the lawn beds. And then I tuned it out, and it was just in the background. So I wasn't watching because I don't know what the other dares were, but the drop was this game with all the couples going. It was nothing. And it was raining the whole time.
I don't know. Again, people keep saying it's editing. They're not showing us anything. And these couples are strong, and they're having all these things like going on that we're not seeing. And I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it.
So Brandy hopes Sunday's episode is now 20 minutes of Trina, Cash, and Cinco triangle. But what else is on the show? It's gonna be it's gonna be Casa Amor.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, people. I think 20 minutes is probably maybe a little long, but at least 10 to 15 minutes is probably going to be that, because the other couples aren't giving us anything. They might just kind of give us Josh and Shannon, they're lovey-dovey, and this is where they're at.
They'll make the girls go away somewhere.
Yeah.
And then when they come back, the guys are going to be gone to Casa Amor.
Mm-hmm. Or the girls will go to Casa Amor. We don't know which one they decided to do this year, whether the girls are going or the guys.
It's the guys that are going. It's always been the guys.
On which one? Season 5 or 6 didn't the girls go? 6. The girls, 5. The girls went, didn't they? Yeah, because
remember Michael
Anna
came back. Michael came back to the villa.
No.
Oh no, wait. Actually, you're right.
Anna came back with Ovi. What was it? No, she came back with Jordan or Ovi. Yes, and Amber came back single, and Michael was standing there with the girl. Yes. The girls went to Casa Amor that time. I don't know about any other season because
that would be the only one then.
Yeah.
I feel like Monday's exclusive and Laid Bare is fine, but the drop, it just doesn't hit. Nope, it's bad. It's not good.
Maybe that's why they didn't send it. Maybe that's why they didn't send it on Tuesday, because I heard she's not the Chantel's not the first person to say it was stupid.
Despite everything, I'm glad that there are two women are handling this. These two women are handling this triangle. Loved that Trina helped Cash with her makeup and her earrings. They both deserve better than Cinco, honestly. Yeah, I mean, Cinco is really lucky right now that he has two very gorgeous women that are willing to fight for him. But it's because they don't have anybody else in the villa that they like. They need more options. Cinco has tons of options.
Yeah, they need more options. So CBS enacted this diversity policy. So you see it on Love Island. You also see it on Big Brother. They have the cookout. As far as I don't watch Big Brother, but people have been showing this little montage with the people from the cookout, which I do love. I do love that, but it's also on casting directors if you're going to do a love show. Big Brother is one thing. You're not casting for love. If you're going to do a love show, you have to cast men of color who want women of color. It's specifically Black women and Black men, not mixed race Black men and women. So you could check a box and say, I have a Black man here and he's, Black and white. Or I have a Mexican man here and he's technically Mexican and white. Like, I don't need you to check that box, because that box doesn't help whether or not somebody like Cash or Trina get an option to have more than one guy in the villa going after them.
I hope Cinco gives them both an answer before Casa Amor, so both girls can make an informed decision about Casa Amor.
I don't think they're going to. I bet you it's going to be a cliffhanger for both of them, so that it's a conflict of whether they should choose.
Do not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if Trina finds a connection with one of the other guys that's coming in, and Cinco won't give any females a real chance in Casa Amor. Yes, he will. I think he will. If someone's coming on to him, Cinco doesn't really have that much like resistance, which will cause Cinco to go home.
Yeah, if Trina's not in his ear, I could definitely see him enter. He was entertaining Leanne. He was telling her that he was going to give it some thought.
Mm-hmm. Cash for Cinco. I mean, I would love them to. I feel like if relationship is tainted at this point, I don't think that they should be together anymore. Like, I was so riding for them before Trina came in and got involved. I just don't like the way that he didn't choose her. And I understand the reasons why. I understand that he was going for less for a bit and that he doesn't maybe want to hurt Trina. I get that. But the fact that he wasn't willing to take that risk on Cash, it bothers me, and it's a little bit about his character. And I definitely think that she deserves someone better. So I don't want him and her to get together at this point, unless he does a lot of grafting.
He would have to do a lot of work to get her for me to be on his side. A lot of work.
What if Will pulled a Carrington on Kira? I can see it.
What's that?
Like, come with another girl.
But
break up with her. Sorry, break up with her. Yeah, Carrington and Kirsten. They broke up with her, and then she was still into him, and then he went to Casa Amor and brought another girl.
I don't think he would break up with her, but I can see him bringing another girl.
Hi, Harry. So I totally agree with you how now Cash is carrying the entire show now that Giovanni is gone. How short-sighted by the producers. I mean, I don't know what the producers are doing here. They must have something completely like they must have something up their sleeve or they just don't understand the dynamics, and they're just like, they think that if they shove Jeremy down our throats, we're going to vote for him. If there's nobody else to vote for, we'll have to vote for him. Like, no, we're going to do our best to get rid of him now, because now we're mad.
Now we're mad.
We would be so heartbroken if it happens. Yeah,
I can't wait to watch her cry. I can't wait to watch her cry. That's all it's like. At this point,
she's going to cry over being nervous about what he's going to do. Like, she's going to be crying the whole time. I don't know if I'm going to be that excited about it, because it might be a little bit whiny, and people don't like us saying that she's whiny, but like, not really that excited though.
But what do you think? Do you think?
Yeah, we're logging off here pretty much too as well.
Do you think that she could pull an Amber, Kira, if Will dumped her?
And just find someone, bounce back, find someone else and win the show? No, she doesn't have enough personality.
That's what I think too. I was just asking.
Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. Like, we kind of complained about this episode enough, I think. I feel like we'll either have his head turned or be like Finn from season 5 and just like
Paige and Finn. Isn't that season 6? Yeah.
Oh, was there another Finn?
Was there another Finn?
I don't think so. It wasn't even 5, so it must be 6.
Yeah, but again, those are people I believe that actually, like, I mean, Finn he was young and he could make stupid mistakes, but I generally, I didn't actually think he was leaving Paige, so I just don't know.
Thank you, Ellie. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, season 6. Yeah.
Well, it's been great chatting with you. What do you have going on to share with the peoples?
You guys can follow me at Entertainment in Color. Content is coming. If you guys, I've got to post it, but just so you guys, if you could support, LeVar Burton is going to be hosting Jeopardy next week. Very excited at 7 o'clock EST time, so Eastern Standard Time, which is where I'm on. But definitely support him, because ratings are going to be a big thing in their decision making of who's going to be hosting Jeopardy, and I cannot wait to watch him host Jeopardy next week.
I already watched Jeopardy. It's one of my favorite shows, so I'll be on it 100%. Yeah. Amazing. I agree with you here. Casting directors are unqualified. Absolutely. Like they're still in a completely old like way of thinking and way of casting and what people want on their screens. Like it's them thinking like, oh, let me get the TikTok guy on the show and we're gonna get so many people watching. And it's like, no, just because he's of color and he has a lot of TikTok fans doesn't mean that he's right for this show, and that doesn't mean that he's going to bring any drama. That doesn't mean that he's going to find a relationship. It doesn't mean any of those things. So
you even see it within the Heights, with how they casted in the Heights. It just wasn't casted properly for what they said the show was supposed to be.
I think it's actually going to be more like if she gets broken up with Kira, it's going to be, she's going to act like Mackenzie more so, I think. Because Mackenzie is also a Leo, and so is Kira. So I can see them like not being the center of their world and being worried about like, are they cheating? Like, what are they doing? Like it's setting themselves in a tailspin.
But I don't see her bringing it like Mackenzie. So I'll just watch the fun of the dramatics. They aren't. I agree.
They're just okay. Like they're fine. If they last a little bit long after the villa, I could see that too. I could really see both of it with them, really. But I do think that he'll get bored, and she's just going to get even more googly-eyed.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for hanging out with us today on this, over here, this gloomy thunderstorm Saturday. We obviously won't be here tomorrow because there's no episodes tonight. But join us back on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about the 2-hour episode tomorrow night, where we'll see the first like shake this shit up.
Yes,
something happened in this episode.
At a faster time. I will say that they have staged a lot of this correctly, because God forbid if they had waited till like midweek or next week for Casa Amor, we would be done. But thank God.
Well, they shouldn't have done double dumping, and they should have maybe like stayed an extra few days and just like reconfigured that dumping, because they lost a lot. I think a lot of the momentum of people enjoying this season.
Yeah.
But they killed it yesterday. Like they just
they did.
that's not the drama that we want to see our favorites go out the door. That we don't like that. Like that makes me not like the show.
Yeah.
We want our favorites to do well on this type of show. We want to see them find love.
It literally took the wind out of my sail. I was like, oh my God, I've got to watch this show for the rest of the season. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Exactly. She was saying to me, she's like, if we weren't reviewing it, like she probably would have dropped off.
Yeah. No, seriously, that episode, once Giovanni left, I was like, I don't know if I can watch the rest of this episode. So I haven't rewatched the episode to even write down notes. But no.
Not much going on.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, have a good evening. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like and leave some comments. Like, are you as enraged as we are, or are we just like going a little bit overboard with our love for Giovanni and our disdain for Jeremy?
Oh my God.
We will message you back, and we can have a little bit of keep this conversation going in the comment section. So yes, we'll see you on Monday where we can talk about.
Bye, guys.